Alright, and welcome everyone to the very end of the advanced tutorial. We get through the end of the Vanguard fight in King Boo. Be able to wrap it up and again ask any questions. If I didn't answer them all, I will never be able to say everything. It's not actually possible. But we'll get you started on the right track to going faster, hopefully. With this, that's the hope. Anyway, hopefully that will do that. And it's pretty similar to what we did before with Grimly earlier. Go through the door, get the fire the same way. And we're just walking. Just walking, man. It was like the tense part of the run. If you like end up with a really good run, you're thinking to yourself, I know what pace this is, I don't want to know what pace this is, but I know what pace this is, it's not good. That's what you're thinking about right now. Pressure situations, it's always better to just like, remember this, remember these days, remember the training days that you learned to do something, remember the muscle memory, remember how you did them, and just reverberate that into your mind and what you're doing as opposed to your nerves. Just remember the basics. The basics is what seems to help me with nerves. Just remember how I learned it. Don't forget it. Because what happens is you forget what you learned under pressure and it goes out. Just remember, forcefully remember the basics again. Say, this is how I need to do this. I know how to do this already, but this is how I need to do this. Because under pressure I won't forget. You know, it's just a mindset thing. But for Vanguard, you have a lovely cutscene. Paints all the different pictures, you know the drill, right? If you've done this game. So first of all, you can move a little bit left before the guy spawns to get this triple right away. As opposed to me doing this, for example, and then getting the triple by turning around or missing it like me. But say I waited a little bit longer and bent in and got that, for example. As opposed to doing that, let's say we turned left right away, and you get the triple right away. See what I'm saying? So that's just going to save you like a little bit of time there, you know. It's just kind of what you want to do there. Now for these guys, I always play these guys conservatively personally. I normally just go for like a turn, wait for the attack and then go. I mean, that's not really that slow, to be honest. To be real honest with you, it's not really that slow. I mean, you can take it pretty yellow just like anything else. The thing is, if you don't get the spread well, like I did there, I didn't really save time over what I just did before. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll do strats that are a little bit slower, but I'll do them so well that I won't lose too much time, you know. It's kind of the way I play, more or less. So I mean, it's kind of the way you want to take it. You can obviously do that faster and then it'd be faster. Depends on how you want to take it. Now the twirlers typically are pretty easy to yellow. I normally would always take like the left route with all of these ghosts, by the way, always be on the left of the first three. You can do the middle if you want, but I like the left. And then pull these guys back at the top. That's how I pulled them like back into the top, into the paintings. I can sometimes get them locked that way if you like pull them down and pull them back up. When you get them locked in there. The wrong one. Let's see if I have this still. I still have this. Alright. So like you pull against the animation. That's what you want right there. That's exactly what you want. Pull like against the animation. Kind of let them sit in there. Kind of let them sit in there and just like, you know, Be stuck in the paintings and then you're good to go. And get some water. Excuse me. So, like, if you're doing the grabbers anyway, you want to be positioned exactly like I am. Some people do it from the left side here as well. I like doing it straight on when I do a yellow, personally. So you want to be straight angled into it. Straight into it, just like that. Just like that, that's exactly what you want. The lineup from the previous one made that really easy. I mean, don't feel bad if you have to take that a little bit easier because you're in a bad position. Because sometimes taking that risky because you're in a really bad position is not a good thing. But yeah, I can't really show you the other method from that position. I'll show you like the entire Van Gogh after it's over, and maybe I'll try something like that. Potentially, but excuse me. Okay, and then same thing, left. This vacuum is a pretty simple. Always remember those animations. Always keep them tight. As much as you can. Keep them tight. Now Van Gogh, you just suck them up. I'll show you another example of the entire thing now. Hopefully we do it well. I normally suck up the hearts here normally when I do it as well. I realize that now that I'm doing this all at once. Yeah, it's a little bit off. It's very easy to be a little bit off, but I did show examples of that going well, so you understand. It's very hard to do yellow. You gotta be lined up perfectly. In Van Gogh, you just want them to be stuck in the corner. You can position yourself right where I am, like I just did, and just suck them up. It's really pretty simple. He's a pretty hard ghost if he wasn't just easily positioned like he is. Because he's so easily positioned, it's not really that complex, really. To be honest. It's not really that complex. And I mean, another thing to keep in mind, if you do break a room, don't do this, boo. Get the key and leave. And then mirror warp to the next room, so if you don't know what I mean. For some random reason, I assume if you did break a room route, you would know by now which way to go. First of all, you wouldn't go the other way on the key like I would. But just in case you wouldn't know what to do. You wouldn't be able to save because you have no boost, so you would go down here and then you would go over here and mirror warp and go back down. But instead, we're going to get the Van Gogh boo. And when you're getting the Van Gogh boo, you want to get to this first. So while it's spawning, you want to activate this first and then get the key, and be wary of the pearls. Don't let them make you lose the boo. Give her short tide pumps and look how he doesn't move as much. Can lead him right out. The further you can lead yourself to the door and be out of there as fast as you can right after he actually leaves, the better. You know what I mean? Like getting to the door right when he leaves. Unless you want to do the boomerang the other way, then you can leave before he actually leaves and then let him boomerang back in. Some people do it that way. I prefer showing the faster boomerang for this. I could show the other one too, I guess, if I can get to that, but a slightly faster boomerang is this. And then you would just save warp there and go to King Boo. On the other one, which I knew he wasn't in there, I'm just like showing here. Okay, this time I need to beat him to the door. And you want to beat him during that, and you want him to boomerang back the other way. Only problem with this is you have to be careful of the pearls always. You always got to be careful of the pearls. That's why I say beware of the pearls, they kind of sneak up on you on that. It's one of the reasons why I like the other boomerang. It is riskier, he can get stuck up in there and then there's nothing you can do, unfortunately. But you avoid the pearl issue coming back. I just screw you over on that, but for that short type R pumps don't allow the boo to move. That's what a lot of people do when they're like newer at the game. They let the boos move around too much, so when they get more health they move all over the place, they move up. And they start double cackling. That's what happens to a lot of people. So it's time to head to King Boo. We'll save this over. Should have save states, but we've had a couple weird issues with them, so just in case. Are you all done? You've got all the boos you're gonna get. All Kingdom ready to rock. Now we're just gonna go right on. By the way, if you have breaker room route, you would have fire here. So vacuum cancel is much better, obviously. Wow, that was creepy. You obviously want to be on the left side of the door because you want to open the door first. But don't kill yourself trying to get there either. Yo, don't force what is impossible, you know what I mean? Oh, that was possible when the hitboxes can barely touch the Luigi and not die somehow. Don't really know what to say. Good old King Boo, brother. This will be an interesting explanation as well. I feel like whether or not I need to explain, I guess I should just explain the fast 3 cycle, slow 3 cycle still, because stuff can happen, you know what I mean? So right to there, we'll save on that. Alright, to King Boo. So you want to position yourself like down here first of all. Right here. And he will throw a spike ball right to you. Me personally, I like to lean in a little bit so that I bait him. A lot of people like do it the other way, where they like go in front of them and turn it and hit it the other way, but I was never good at timing that, so I found a way to do it like a different way that had a little bit of leeway to it. And what I mean by a little bit of leeway, is if I wait a little while, I can still get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit less risky. You can kind of have that happen with the other way, but it's a little bit scarier looking from a depth perceptor's perspective. So if you're struggling with it a little bit, it gives you some time to think and make a mistake and still get it done. Just make sure that you bait them first. Don't do this. Because this happens to me sometimes because I do this try. Don't do this. Some other people have done this that try to do this too. Don't like, okay, I'm ready to go left. And he turns left. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. You have to bait him by being in the middle first. Bait him and then move over. Then you have the circulation. So here, when King Boo comes out, you kind of want to do like a circular motion with a controller stick. You want to do like a circular motion with a controller stick in circles, and the entire time is fine really, unless you can like kind of like slowly rotate him down. If you rotate out properly, like if you rotate out and you actually can get him to go down for you, you can actually just hold down R until like around, you need to get at least like half of 250 off or something like that. I mean, the pumps are, it's pretty lenient on when you can start pumping technically for just getting the 2-cycle. It's pretty lenient. You can start pumping pretty early. I know some people that have started pumping really early and still get it. I know Sark, I used to pump really early and still get it anyway. I've seen 2 cycles. I remember seeing a 2-cycle on YouTube one time where he didn't even pump. So you don't even technically have to pump, but it's almost impossible to do that because it's, you have to play it like perfectly, pretty much. So like most reasonably, you just have to start pumping after about 100 to go or something like that. You just rotate up also, make sure that you're always holding down the L button and you don't go. Pay attention to the shadow at all times of King Boo. Always pay attention to the shadow. Because if you don't, you may bump into him, or you may lose track of him. Like if you go too far behind him, you may just lose track of him. The shadow is the main thing for me, because I'll lose King Boo a lot for no reason just because of that. Like borderline crown theft here. It'd be good to do in a tutorial cap up, but that would be a good, that was a second good cycle. I rotated and then I rotated out a little bit. Basically what that is like, I'm rotating and then I'm like pulling out a little bit away from the circle. Not too much that I lose him, but just a little bit so that I can get him to try to go down. Sometimes you just won't. But you don't want to stay under him the entire time either, because if you stay under him, you can't go where you are. Otherwise you'll get hit. You know, you don't want to get hit, or most likely he'll just choose to go the other way. I've seen him just sail away to the moon sometimes. I mean, he just goes to like a different place like you never understand. So let's say we don't actually get the 2-cycle and we will do slow 3-cycle, I guess. I've seen people get them in the 220s before. Down the first cycle, I've gotten them from 270 on the second cycle. Alright, so now I'm going to intentionally miss them, but I'm going to go below 200 here. Okay. So for here, you kind of want to position yourself somewhere around this area, so that he'll go back and forth and not get locked on anything, and that's the fastest way to like restart his 3rd cycle, because if he gets stuck on anything, then he will like basically keep running against it until he gets away from it. You know what I mean? So dang, what a situation, right? But that was the correct way to, like, approach the third cycle. That's what you want to do. If that happens, you want to stand, like, right there and get him just, it's pretty close and very easy to mess that up and get him stuck on something. But it's a little bit better than letting him go the other way instead and run all the way across it. Now for the quick 3 cycle, which is, I guess, assuming you mess up the first cycle here. It's not possible to get it from there, most likely, right? So see, you decide to just not get it. It's basically just the same thing. But just in case you don't know what to do. You want to keep him above 200, and he doesn't actually turn his head around. And then you just continue as always, of course. Badoom. And we'll do one more attempt to do one more 2 cycle. Some people do like smaller circles with this, some people do bigger circles. I prefer to feel the sides of the controller with it a little bit more. A lot of times I'll rotate and then move out and stop and then rotate again. And that went a lot better than I thought that number was going to be. And boom, you split right when you pick up the ghost. I'm sure you would know by now, but you have yourself a winner. You have won the game, you can celebrate, and it has all those legendary credits that it has. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I am grateful to be a part of this community, and been able to help out with the optimization of it. It's been quite a fun ride. Hope we can continue to do stuff with it, and it continue to go along. Do my journey of speedrunning this game, because I'm definitely not done. But yeah, any questions or anything anyone has, or anything like that, let me know. Comments, stream, anywhere you know you can find me, anyway. Anywhere it works for you. Anything that works for you. I will roll out the legendary credits of this game because there are some good credits. That'll be the end of this tutorial though. We'll cancel out all the webcam and everything. Appreciate everybody. Let me know if you need any help with anything with this game or whatever you need. We will be doing something with this. We'll always be on the grind with something. It's a fun ride. Thanks everyone. You all have a good time running this game. I hope this helps you get on the track you want to be on. to get to the level of me or wherever you want to be at. Do you get where you want to be? That's the main thing. It's not about beating someone, it's about making yourself and your own goals happy about a speedrun. That is the main thing. Always do that and keep those goals into you. So thanks all for watching. We'll see you next time. And we'll see you around.